Mental Salvation Radio. Mental Salvation Radio. Salvation Sunday. How y'all doing out there? How y'all doing out there? Give me 1 second. And I'm back. And I'm back. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Mental Salvation Radio. Salvation Sunday. And my beautiful guest is Miss Gina Rose. As you can see there at the bottom, this is episode 89, Salvation Sundays, where we talk to the entrepreneurial spirit of the black woman. And right now, I'm on my balcony because my daughter is in the kitchen eating. I want to thank everyone who wished me a happy born day, happy birthday. You know, this is the birthday weekend, and this is my birthday. This was my birthday hat. Can't put it on right now. The hat is bigger than the screen. The hat is bigger than the screen. So I just turned 51 on yesterday. Turned 51 on yesterday. Big up to everyone who helped celebrate the Earth Day. I'll talk more about that though. I'm going to jump back on my podcast and talk more about my birthday celebration and, you know, just turning 51, you know, and what led up to just everything that happened during the month of August. So big up to big up to Foxy Roxy and her beautiful girls who helped celebrate the Earth Day. Big up to my daughter as well, who actually gave me some paintings for my birthday. You know, I really wasn't going to celebrate it. I wasn't in a celebratory mood, but you know, things happen. We move on. You know, we buckle down in life. You know, and we keep moving. But today is not about me. Today is about Miss Gina Rose, who is my guest today, talking to the entrepreneurial spirit of the black woman. If you know a black woman who has the entrepreneurial spirit and have a story to tell, because they can tell their story better than I can, send them my way. I am booked up until the end of the year, but you never know. Some people may not be able to come on because of things that's going on in their life, and you know, somebody else is able to fill in that slot. So big up to everybody in here. Big up to Jay Robinson. Big up to Yoga Bay J. Panoya Starseed Podcast, who's Foxy Roxy is in this joint right now. So let's do this. Let's jump into the guest of today. And with that being said, I am going to invite Miss Gina Rose on. And let's see here. There she is. Get this party started. Let's get the party started. Let's get this party started. Boom, 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 boom,
Oh,
boom, 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 boom.
flip it.
Uh-oh, she gotta flip it. Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. It's been a long, long, long time.
It's been a long, long time. Oh my God. And I got to say this first before anything. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Thank you so much. Um, yeah, thank you so much. You know, when I was, you know, just gathering up persons who I wanted to interview or see who was very interested in coming on the show. I've been thinking about getting you on, but you know, sometimes
Mhm.
things happen, life is busy, and you were moving and
Absolutely.
grooving, and I was doing the same thing, and I really
Yeah.
wanted to get you on here because, you
Mhm.
know, we've been knowing each other through passing, and then we've
Yeah.
been knowing each other, you know, in person, like we've known each
Yeah.
other for a very long time because of
Yep.
the community in which we're in, and the entertainment and
Yep.
things of that
Yep.
nature,
Yep.
and us sharing the same friend as oh man, not her, she Hadassah, you know,
Hadassah.
us.
Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah, and
Yes.
her being your singing, you being her singing coach,
Mhm.
and I was like, wait,
Mhm.
Gina Rose is your singing coach? Her mom was like, yeah. I said, what?
I know. It's like when I saw you were doing that, oh my God. I was like, what an awesome connection. Like that. Oh my God. I just loved it. I loved it. I
Yes,
was like,
yes.
yes.
I,
Hmm.
I thought it was beautiful, and I still think it is, And before we even jump into all of who Gina Rose is and what Gina Rose is doing now, I would love for you to introduce yourself to the Salvation Radio family, who you are now a part of, like the cousin. You the cousin now. You know what I'm saying? And I would love for you to introduce yourself to the Mental Salvation Radio family.
Okay. Well, hi everybody. Again, my name is Gina Rose. I am a singer, songwriter, performer. Um, I'm a mom of one son. He's 22 now. I'm a daughter. I'm a sister. And I just love what I do. I love what I do. I'm blessed to be able to, share my gifts with the world that God has given to me because I never take that for granted, and I'm happy to still be doing what I love to do.
Awesome, awesome. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. And as I said before, just I don't know when we met. I don't know how. You know how you just like know people, but you're like, when did we meet? How
I
long we been?
know.
Like,
I
I
don't know.
can't.
I know it was many years ago.
Right, right. And I can't even put
Yeah.
a date on it, which I think it's always
Uh-uh.
good when sometimes you can't put a date on things because it's
Hmm.
genuine and you were meant to meet that person for a reason.
I agree.
Um,
Yeah. Yes.
Um, when I always talk to the guests on here, I never
Hmm.
have any questions written down. It's always like a
Hmm.
free flow conversation.
Yeah.
But I always start off with, who is Gina Rose?
Hmm.
How did you become the
Mm.
superstar that you are that you are today?
Mm.
And I know that's a loaded question, but and I
Yeah.
want to definitely break them down and start off with: were you born and raised in D.C. or did you migrate here? Did you just come from Philadelphia and then you just was like everybody thought you were born and raised in D.C. So were you born and raised in D.C.?
Well, I was born in DC, proudly born in DC. But I've just been raised in different parts of the area, PG County, Montgomery County. So that's just been, my life, moving around a lot. But I would say for the latter parts, like high school and all of that, I stayed in Silver Spring. So Silver Spring, Maryland. So, I just moved around a lot. Now I do call New York my second home because I've always been up there. I have a lot of family up there. I traveled up there a lot for music and songwriting and stuff like that. So I always give a shout out up there too because I just feel like that's my second home.
Right,
But
right.
but I'm
Dig.
from here in DMV.
That's what's up. So, where did you go to high school?
I went to Kennedy High School, John F. Kennedy High School in Silver Spring.
Okay,
Oh no, why are you looking
so
like that?
hold on, wait. Hold on, wait. So I went. Okay, the reason I'm looking like that is because I tell all my friends. I say,
Uh-huh.
when I meet somebody and they're from Montgomery County, I always ask them what high school they went to
Yeah.
because I always kind of put a black dot on. Okay, you went to that high school, so okay, I know what type of person you are. Okay, it's like if you went to Blair High School, I'd be like, okay.
Oh my God.
But it's all jokes. It's all fun.
Yeah.
You have this because I went to Springbrook High School,
Okay.
and when people say I went to Kennedy, I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, okay. I thought the kids who came out of Kennedy were cool anyway. They were kind of
Okay.
they were like to themselves in the sense of they didn't really, the Kennedy kids that I didn't know growing up, they didn't
Mhm.
really get in trouble as much. You didn't really
Mhm.
find them, in the face of like heated debates as you would a Springbrook student and a Blair
Mhm.
student because they were
Mhm.
always rivals,
Yeah,
you know.
that's true.
But but growing up in or having the educational background in Montgomery County
Hmm.
and going through the process of school, what type of girl at that time, a young lady,
Hmm.
was Gina Rose in school?
Wow. Oh my goodness. Um, well, I would say for high school, um, I was real laid back, very chill. Actually was a Tom girl, kind of like people don't believe. They're like, oh, you always, makeup and all this stuff. I'm like, I was none of that. Like in high school, like I was baggy jeans, Tim's, slides, slouch socks, like every day. That was my life, to be honest. But I was just real chill. I did things related to music, of course.
Hmm.
The talent shows, the chorus. I sang at our high school graduation at Constitution Hall. So I was very involved. I was a leader of a group for African American teenagers in the school, young women. Um, so that was pretty cool. But outside of that, I was just pretty chill. I was just known as the girl, that could sing. Like that was who I was. So, yeah. But high school was cool.
Okay.
I got out of there pretty good.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So, it seems to me that you've had that that artist bug, though that artist, you've been bit by the artist bug. Were your
Hmm.
were your parents artists as well, or where did you get that bug from? Mom, dad, grandma, granddad. How did that all work out for you?
Well, the funny thing is, nobody in my immediate family can sing. Nobody. Um, so it's kind of just me. It was just a gift. My mom, I love you, mom. But she can't sing. So it's just kind of crazy like that. But I was told by my mom, like I started singing, or she knew I could sing at like the age of 3.
Mm,
So from there, it just blossomed, and I have to always shout out my mom because she always kept me involved in musical, anything musical that I wanted to participate in. She never pushed me away from it. Like she always welcomed it, opened it, with open arms.
right.
And so, yeah, she kept me involved all those
Wow.
years.
Wow.
And
What?
still till now, she'll come to whatever show, so yeah, I was always doing stuff with music
That's
from a
what.
very young age.
That's what's up. So, wait, did you
Yeah.
have a church background, or Okay,
Hmm.
okay.
Yeah.
So, I guess you were really involved in the choir, church, and things of that nature.
Yes. I don't know if you're familiar or anyone watching from the DMV. My home church was Union Temple Baptist Church in Southeast. Yes, Reverend Willie Wilson, shout out, and Reverend Mary Wilson, shout out.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yeah,
So I
absolutely.
was a yeah, so I was a part of the glorious Union Temple Youth Choir. And I mean, we got to travel, sing background for national artists. This is when I'm a youngin, singing background for Reba McEntire and Kirk Franklin and Barry Manilow and all of these people, LL Cool J, Boys to Men. Like I had so many incredible experiences being
Wow.
in that choir. So, when people are like, "Oh, you just," no, I've been doing this for a very, very long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when I first heard of Willie Wilson,
Hmm.
and he became like in the news because he was like, he wasn't putting up a white Jesus, he was putting up a black
Right.
Jesus, and he
Right.
kind of like ruffled a lot of feathers. I said, wait,
You did.
let me go see what this brother's about because he onto something, right? And when
Yeah.
I went to the church, you see the big mural in the back, and I
Yeah. Still
said,
there. Yep.
yo,
Still there.
this is dope. Like this is,
Yeah.
I think black people need to see this
Yeah.
and hear this. How
Absolutely.
did that how did that mold your mind into thinking how important we were in history?
Oh gosh. I mean, it helped me tremendously. Look at you. You know what? That's because you outside in the elements.
I'm outside
You
in the
probably
elements
look.
because my daughter's in the element and she gonna be wilding out.
No. Shout out to daughter. Oh my God. No. But no. Honestly, like. to be honest, it started before going to Union Temple. Even into that, my mom has always taught me and my brother, who we are as people. I mean, I can recall going at an early age to UDC. Shout out, that is my alma mater. But when we were young, she would take us to seminars there, learning about early Egypt, Kemet, all kinds of, history. My mom has a million books. She's always instilled that in me and my brother. So that foundation was always there from her from the beginning. But it elevated, of course, when we went to Union Temple. It's like, oh my gosh, Reverend Wilson was just, you know, and still is just amazing. Like his teachings, the way that he taught us, we could understand it as young teenagers and
Mm-hmm.
just the youth in general. Like we could relate to what he was saying. He made it relatable for us to understand and apply to our lives. So, I always just admired, his strength and all the things he had to endure to be able to do and say the things that he says. Like, I mean, even from bringing Minister Farrakhan, like I've seen him countless times, there, like my gosh, right there, doing the Million Family March. Like we got
Yep.
to sing at that as the youth choir. Like
I was
those
there.
things were just, you were there, yeah,
Yes.
just amazing. So I've learned so much from being at Union Temple. Definitely. I always,
Yeah. Yeah.
always.
Because
I
I
will never forget.
I do remember us bringing Karis One there.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
yeah.
was there, and I was like, Karis
I
One's
went.
gonna be,
I was there for that.
so he's gonna be speaking at Union Temple, but he
Yeah.
not, but he's the teacher, so therefore
Right.
someone must know Karis One enough to bring him to Pastor Willie Wilson to get him Pastor Willie Wilson to say,
Yeah.
yeah, let's bring Karis One, and that whole place
Facts.
was packed, and
Facts.
and
Yep.
I would see how the how he's very how Pastor Willie Wilson is very adored in the community, and how people will
Absolutely.
come to the church and get fed in that and that
Mhm.
get fed with that spirit. So I definitely understand that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Now
Absolutely.
getting back to Gina Rose, you just said
Mhm.
mentioned you had a brother. You said your
Yes.
brother can't sing. Are you the oldest or the youngest?
I'm the oldest. My brother is 5 years younger than me.
Uh,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
okay,
I mean,
and
he has musical abilities. Let me stop. He did play, a few instruments when he was in school. And he can rap. Like we did a remix together where he jumped on the track with me. So, he does have musical abilities in that sense. But as far as like singing and, harmonize,
right,
that's not his thing.
right.
Yeah.
Now, I gotta mention this because I saw you. There's some clips out there with you at the Apollo.
Yeah.
So how does that work? I mean, I see a lot of people get booed. I see a lot of children on there, and some children aren't the greatest, but
Oh,
they clap them out anyway because they're children. But as they get older, sometimes adults are more harsh. Like they're not as
yeah.
harsh to them when they are a child growing up.
Yeah.
Now, the reason I'm bringing that up and to get to the Apollo,
Hmm.
how were you accepted as a child growing up singing? Because did some people say, "Oh, girl, you can really sing," or did some people did some people discourage you? Did you have those
Hmm.
discouraging moments
Mm.
as a child?
Okay. Okay. That's
Because
a great question.
sometimes people are don't care. They're more hard. They're harsh on children and grown ups. They don't
Hmm.
care.
Hmm.
How was your what was the challenges for you as a child who could sing and
Mm.
your mom knew you could
Hmm.
and you knew you could, but what
Hmm.
were the challenges growing up as a child when it came to
Wow.
singing?
That's a great question. I was always supported, like I said, by my mom and my whole family. Like everyone's
Hmm.
always been super supportive of me and my talent and my gift. Um, but for me internally, I had a lot of issues because I felt like, oh, well, why is my voice so raspy? Or, why am I so loud? Or, well, how come I can't sound like this artist or like this, another singer that I might know that's my age, or why do they sound like this? So I did struggle quite a bit trying to figure out who I was as a singer and accepting my voice.
Hmm.
Just this is who I am, this is my voice, and this is what it is. I can't be like her, can't be like him, whoever. Like I have to just be Gina. And so I did struggle with that for many years. Trust
Mm.
me, many people might not have been able to tell, but it was just an internal thing, but I got over that and, accepted myself for who I was and my voicing, and all that stuff. And I worked towards making it better, of course, with voice training and stuff like that.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Traveling as a child, as you mentioned before,
hmm
doing, backup vocals or singing in the choir, doing things
yeah,
for major artists, as you mentioned before.
yes.
How, what led up to you going to the Apollo? I mean, of
Mm,
course, those clips that I saw was in your seasonal years
yeah,
as a
yeah.
professional singer. But what
hmm
led up to your travels to get to the Apollo?
Uh, okay. So the funny thing is I've been to the Apollo twice. The first time I went, it was there were auditions, in our area. And I was like, what? For the Apollo, so I just went on a whim. I made it and I was like, oh my God, told my whole family. And I swear to you, all my family that's in this area, my family in New Jersey, my friends in New York, everybody came to that show. Yes. And I remember, that first time I went there, I sang Shaka Khan, which is kind of a heavy, artist to sing,
Hmm.
but I did my thing. I didn't get booed. That was the only thing I was praying for. After you rub that log, and you have to rub that log because they will get you if you don't rub that log.
Absolutely.
Um, they will get you. But I went out there, I rocked it. I didn't win, and the lineup of everybody, but I was just thankful that I didn't get booed or anything like that.
Right.
So,
Right.
and that was also on TV when the CW channel was out. That was I was on that. So that was on national TV. So that was the first time I went. The second time I went, they rebranded Apollo and they called it Apollo Live. And
Hmm.
that's when they ended up having judges. They had Gladys Knight, they had
Yeah.
Dougie Fresh,
Yeah. I remember
and
that.
Michael Bivins.
Right.
Yeah. So that never happened before. They just revamped everything. So I was like, I don't know if I want to do this again. But everyone's like, just do it, just do it. So I auditioned again, made it again. And so same thing, very supportive family and friends. They all came out for that too. But the crazy thing, people don't know, people think it's all fun and what they see on TV and whatnot. But behind the scenes for Apollo Live, everyone came in with whatever song they thought they wanted to do. And when we got to the rehearsal day, which is literally the day before the show,
Uh huh.
they told us, "Oh, you guys have to pick from a list of songs. You can't sing the songs that you thought you were gonna
Oh,
want to be able to
wow.
sing." So everyone was looking around like everyone was like, "Oh my God, we have to pick a song, rehearse with the band for like 20 minutes, if that, and then perform this the next day." So everybody was freaking out. So I decided to choose an Anita Baker song, "Sweet Love." I never sang an Anita Baker song in my life. But that was the closest song on the list that I knew, within a couple of hours I could rock it. I felt
Wow.
confident enough to rock it. So yeah, so that's what I did. I told, the band how I wanted to do my song. And then the next day, um, we sat through, it's like people don't know, like you sit through a couple of tapings. So I'm
Hmm.
up in the balcony. We're all in the balcony, dressed, ready, TV ready, watching other performers perform for different episodes they're taping,
Mm.
getting booed, all kinds of things. You're just like, oh my God, it's awful. So even the girl before me, when it was my turn, she got booed off the stage. And I'm up next and I'm sitting there like, oh Lord, please, this is my second time here. Please, Lord, just don't let me get so,
The
you know,
pressure.
it was pressure. Plus, you're getting judged this time. So, I went out there, I did it, I got a standing ovation. I couldn't believe it. I was just like, oh my God, I was so thankful. And that was shown on BET and Centric. So, another, national, showing or being on TV.
Right. Right.
But to get a standing ovation and great comments from Gladys Knight, the legend, Michael Bivins and Dougie Fresh was just absolutely amazing.
Hmm.
And I'm like still so honored to have
Right.
been a part of that. But yeah, it was just having faith, going for the audition. Like, you just can't be scared. You just gotta, try.
Right, right.
Because you never know.
You never know. And for you to give us
Hmm.
that backstory, we think that, it's a one and done. We think that it's, sometimes we don't think it's live. Sometimes we don't think
Yeah.
that artist is sitting among other artists watching so many takes of other episodes
Yeah.
that they may or may not show,
Yes. Hmm.
on TV, on live TV.
Hmm. Right.
But to
Right.
get, I think I saw the episode where there was Michael Bivins and Dougie Fresh and Gladys
Yeah.
Knight. But
Hmm.
how did, at the end of your performance, and I do have another question that popped up. Matter of fact, I'm gonna ask this question first.
Hmm.
How important is it to pick the right song
Oh,
that is built for your voice,
oh gosh.
no
It's
matter
so
what it
important.
is?
No matter, right. It's very important because you don't have that much time in situations and scenarios like that. So you have to find a song that's going to hit it, show your vocal range, your power, whatever it is that you think you need to show in a few seconds, to be able to go to another round or something like that, or to make the audition. So you have to be very self-aware of, okay, I know when I get in there and I hit this song, it's going to make them feel away
Mhm.
and stuff like that. So that's why I went in initially with, oh, I know what I sang at the audition, I was going to sing for the show, which was actually Cece Peniston's Inside That I Cried. Shout out to Cece, that's my sister. Love you, Cece. But yes. And, I sang it at the audition, rocked it. I said, that's going to be my song for the show. And then, boom, here they go. No, you guys have to pick from this list and this list only. So you just have to know, okay, I know I can rock this song. I'm familiar with this song, or, so that's how I went with the Anita Baker. So yeah, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I've always
Hmm.
wondered, how do artists pick a song? Because
Hmm.
sometimes you'll hear a judge say, "I love your voice, but that wasn't the right song for you."
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And when the artists hear that, it may
Hmm.
deflate their character or may deflate them a little bit.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard something that may have discouraged you to continue on to be the person who you are when it came to being an artist?
Mm. Um, okay, I'll give one that kind of tripped me out.
Mhm.
This is going to another audition for American Idol. So I've done all of those things, all those, shows and stuff. So American Idol, same thing. Let me just give you guys a little info. It is not a 1 day audition process. You don't meet the judges, you don't go on TV and all that in 1 day. It's like a three-step process, three-step audition process. The first one you meet just regular producers, then executive producers, then the judges, right?
Mhm.
So I made it to the second rounds, which is the executives, and oh gosh, I forgot his name, but he's one of the big producers on that show. So anyway, I sing my song and he goes, you sing very well to have a list. And I was like, a list? Like, I didn't even know I had a list. So I was like, I'm in, after I left, I'm in the mirror, like looking at myself singing it. And I said, oh my God, I actually do have a list. So that kind of like blew me, and I felt a certain way for a little while, but it was just kind of strange. I never heard that before. So
Right.
that was kind of interesting. Other than that, it hasn't so much been about my voice, but I have to mention this because it is a part of my life and my history in music, is size.
Mhm.
Because this industry is very, looks driven and things like that. So I did have a lot of issues with that, being a plus size, woman in this industry. Like, I've heard some very hurtful comments at shows and contests that I was in, when the judges made, comments in relevance to that. And I was taken aback. Like, I thought this was supposed to be about my voice, not, the way that I look. So that
Right.
was very discouraging.
Mhm.
Um, Absolutely discouraging. So, things like that have definitely happened, I would
Right,
say.
right,
Yeah.
right. And because we always hear the good side, because me being an artist too, you always
Mhm.
hear the
Yep.
good side of an artist story,
Yep.
but you never really hear the challenges of an artist story.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, you were getting unflattering comments about your physical, but not getting comments about your vocal ability.
Right.
How did that mentally change you, and how did that make you stronger to be a better artist than you were then?
Mm. Oh wow. Um, like I said, it definitely made me question myself over and over again. Like, why am I still doing this? I'm not going to be accepted. I'm never going to make it, or I'm not going to, do this or do that. So it's always been, an issue in the back of my mind. But over time, over the years, building more confidence, being more, grounded in who I am as a person.
Hmm.
Again, accepting Gina Rose for Gina Rose, and I am who I am. Again, I can't be her, whoever. I just have to be me. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't.
You don't.
So I
You
had to
don't.
grow, and that comes with maturity as well,
Right.
getting older. So, it's been a struggle,
Hmm.
so, but now I'm at a place where I'm confident of who I am and what I look like. And it is what it is.
It is
You
what it
like me, you
is.
like me. You don't, you don't.
Right, right.
So,
Did you ever take and this just me thinking about this now. Did you ever take like one of those skinny girl songs? You be like, I'm about to sing this better than this skinny girl sang this song, and I'm gonna sing the song at the audition to make them forget about my my physical appearance, because I'm happy with me,
yeah.
but seems to me some judges want to point this out. Have you ever thought about just have you ever did that before? Like, take, you don't have to mention that artist's name, but just take a song and be like, you know what, I'm gonna sing it better than this person, and I'm gonna make them forget about what they want to say.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've always like, and it goes back to what you said, being like aware of the songs that work for you and stuff like that. So I've always been strategic about, what I do at auditions or shows or anything, and I'm like, no, I'm going to rock this song. And they're going to just remember that girl can sing, or she made me feel a way. She moved me. Like, that was my ultimate goal. I said, forget all the rest of it. If people come up to me after a show and say, oh my God, I loved it, da, 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 then I've done what I was supposed to
Right.
do. I'm supposed to bring you joy or make you feel good, through song, through music.
Hmm.
So, that has always been, my focus ever
Yeah,
since,
yeah.
getting over all the negative things. You know what I mean?
Right, definitely know
Yeah.
what you mean, because my mom was in a gospel group here in Washington D.C. called Linda Gore and the Gospel Spiritualettes years ago, and the
Mm-hmm.
lead singer of that group was a plus size woman, but she was tall, like she was like
Mm-hmm.
tall, and
Yeah.
I used to hear people in the back of the church sometimes or outside talk about how big she was.
See,
And
that's just awful.
this is people who never met this lady yet.
Mm-hmm.
But after
Mm-hmm.
my mom's singing group got finished with that church,
Mm-hmm.
the people who I saw was small talking about her were running up to her like, "Oh girl, oh my, you blessed my soul. Oh my God,
See.
oh my God, oh my, I am so glad we came." And
Yep.
now they are fans. They
Mm-hmm.
forgot about
Yeah.
how what her physical appearance was, and
Right.
they start to now hear what she could do with her voice. And
Yeah.
it seems to me that you may have had that same thing challenge going on with
Mm-hmm.
you, and you move past it, and you made people feel your voice. You probably made people cry, you probably made people get chills, and they came up to you afterwards,
Yeah.
to after a show or an appearance that you have made.
Yeah.
um
Mm-hmm. And
um
one thing too, I wanted to just say real quick, because of that too, I went in the studio and let it out in the booth, and I recorded a song called "The Big Girls Anthem." I recorded that many, many years ago, and I used to perform it all over the DMV at different shows and showcases and stuff. And people loved it because they were like, "Oh my gosh, I was just saying, like, oh, my big girls represent, showing what you working with, like that. That's one of my originals. So, I did go in the booth and take it out in the pen.
and made
So,
it, and you made it an anthem for yourself and those who
yep,
the plus size women, so they,
yeah,
if the skinny girls ain't down, we don't care. We, what I'm saying, this is for the tribe, this is for those who may feel the same way I feel, and I want to
exactly,
uplift those sisters in that sense. And
absolutely,
I think that's a beautiful thing. um
yeah.
how did you say to yourself, I want to be a vocal coach? How did you figure that out and say, you know what, I'm a damn good singer, and I want to make sure someone else is going in the right direction? What turned the corner for you that made you say, hey, I want to be a singing or vocal coach?
Um, at first, honestly, I wasn't sure, because that goes back to the confidence. Like, oh my gosh, like, is it in me to be able to, instill in these young kids or, someone else, like, what to do to get to a certain level? So there was some doubt there at first. But I got a job working at Bach to Rock Music School.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Bach to Rock, in Bethesda, Maryland. And
Okay.
they have franchises. Yeah, they have franchises all over the U.S. And they are just predominantly just a music school. They teach voice lessons, piano, violin, glee club, recording, like guitar, like anything music, you can go there, you can learn. So I got hired as a voice teacher. And so that's honestly where I got my start. I started teaching students, every day. I just got better and better at it, my routine, and just understanding that you have to work with who's in front of you. The student that comes in at 4:30 is not going to be the same student that comes in at 5, or something like that. So and all those different personalities. So you just have to take your time and work and develop those students. So I did that there. I also started teaching beginner piano. Yes, people, I play piano too, but I'm not a maestro. I want to make that very clear. I'm not a maestro, but I teach beginner piano. So I started teaching that there as well. Again, I started teaching the glee club there, which is singing and adding the dancing aspect to it. Early education classes with the babies. I started teaching them. So I grew a lot there and learning how to record as well. So, using Pro Tools and all of those kind of things. So, I grew a lot at Bach to Rock, with the voice lessons. And ultimately that's how I met my, young little, I love her so much. She's not so little
She's not.
anymore, but Hanasa, she's not, she's like a senior in high school now. But she was so small when I started working with her at Bach to Rock, and I love her mom and dad. And they trusted me, and I appreciated that so much. Because she was doing
Right.
so much. We're talking about one of my students, everybody, from that I met at Bach to Rock. Um, but she just blossomed, and I said, oh my God, I'm doing something great here. Like, wow, I'm actually helping these young students to grow, to find themselves, to develop their voice. And I had some adult students too. So,
Right.
it's very interesting to do that. So outside of that, I started teaching, on my own, outside of Bach to Rock,
Mm-hmm.
private voice lessons and piano, via Zoom actually, because, when the pandemic hit, like everything
Yeah.
went there, and people were kind of okay with that because it's like, okay, we can stay home, we can do this.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, so I've still grown, over the years in teaching, but it's been a blessing to see like the outcome
Right.
of, my students.
It,
So I'm
it,
happy
it's
about
it's always a blessing. You brought up
that.
something that kind of affected all the artists across the board, which was the pandemic. Whether you call it the
Yeah.
pandemic, the pandemic, whatever happened, we were inside and we
Right.
couldn't
Yes.
do nothing. And
Yes.
that stopped a lot of artists who were, this is what their livelihood was, stopped
Absolutely.
them from doing things. We never, for us as
Hmm.
artists, we knew how to operate the internet to get fans and do certain
Right.
things, but now we really had to be on it and do certain things,
Right.
right?
Right.
How did you get over the challenge of
Hmm.
getting shut down as an artist? What did you do,
Hmm.
and how did you fight to stay alive?
Um. mm, well, just making sure that I just tried to continue to stay relevant, or I guess seen on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you said, we have so many different options and platforms now. So I just, went back to just recording myself, just singing here in the house. Recording myself. I went back to playing piano and singing a few songs because people were not, aware that I can do that too. And that also helps me too, because half the time I'm like, oh, I'm not playing this keyboard. I'm not, but that forced me to say, okay, I have nothing but time. All right, Gina, sit down and play some chord, So that helped me too. But just staying relevant, just on social media,
Mm-hmm.
letting people know, hey, I'm still here. And when we get through this, we'll be back outside and I'll be back on somebody's stage or somewhere. So
Absolutely, absolutely.
yeah. Yeah.
I know where it was. I think we met. You know, Brother Maniac.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
I
Brother
think
Maniac.
you were on one of those big ass shows that he always put on. Big up the Brother Maniac. But I love that brother because
Maniac DM.
he was the only, I think he was the only one in the city that was putting on these big shows with all the
He did.
independent artists, no matter if it was rap, trap.
Yep.
Back then it wasn't even trap, but
Right.
rap, trap, R&B, jazz. He was
Yep.
putting everybody on the same bill. And I think I
Yep.
hosted one of those shows, and I believe you were on it. And then he started to do the DMV Awards.
Yes.
And I think I met
Yes.
you at the DMV Award, like the first annual
Yes.
DMV Awards,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And it's amazing how we see our fellow artists develop and grow,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
when we talk about Gina Rose,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna put this out here, and you don't have to agree or disagree. I just
Okay.
want to put this out here and say this: when we talk about our soul artists in the DMV,
Mhm.
and I see a list come out, I don't
Mhm.
see Gina's Rose list on this damn. I don't see her name on this damn list. Why the hell is Gina Rose's name not on this damn list? Right?
Uh huh.
Because there are a lot of beautiful soul singing artists here in this
Yes.
area who don't get the shine that they deserve
Mhm.
and don't get the
Yes.
flowers that are picked for them and say, these are your flowers. They always get these flowers when
Yes.
they're dead.
Yes.
And I'm like, why do we do this? Like, why
Yes.
do we not celebrate our artists who are from this area, number
Mhm.
one. Number two, why do
Mhm.
we have to wait to celebrate them when they become mainstream and other people in other
Mm.
countries love and like them? And now you
Yeah.
want to be possessive and say, oh, we love Gina Rose is our original DMV artist. We love her so much. Well, where the hell was the love at certain points in Gina Rose's life, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'll ask you this as an open question. It's like, how do you deal with that? How? Because I know how I deal with it. I
Mm.
know how I deal with it, and I'm very vocal about it. But how do you deal with how do you deal with it as an artist? Sometimes in an area that don't appreciate other artists until they
Mhm.
transition or
Mhm.
get a major record deal, and people
Mm.
realize I didn't know Gina Rose was from DC and DMV. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But how do you deal with those challenges as an artist,
Mm.
as a black artist, as a
Mhm.
female artist,
Mhm.
as those who paved the way for other artists in this area? How do you
Mhm.
deal with it?
Uh. Oh gosh.
It's a loaded
You
question.
know.
You can answer. You don't
Yeah,
have
it's
to, but
loaded.
it is loaded.
Um. You know what? I try not to just, let it phase me because it's like I know what I've done, and people who have been around in the indie scene, they know me. They know the work that I put in,
Right.
as an
Right.
independent artist because honestly, today, a lot of people know me because I sing with different bands and stuff like that. But before any band, anything, I was straight up independent singing my own songs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, release my own EPs, in the studio, doing my own thing. Having shows as Gina Rose, not Gina, whatever band featuring Gina Rose. It was me. So, you know what I'm saying? So, it's always been that for me. But I see the list too.
Right.
I've seen the list too. Okay, yeah, but I'm just like, okay. And I've noticed, to be honest, in this area, the same kind of people, or they just get rotated. It's just the same
Right.
rotation of the same people. When, like you said, there's so many different artists out here that never get their fair justice of what they contribute to this music scene and beyond. Because
Mm-hmm.
uh, even though we're here, we are selling music overseas. We have music in movies. We have music in TV series. People don't know, okay? And they just, just keep the same people in rotation. So it's like, you know what? It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
I see you. And even honestly, to be honest, when we had the DMV Awards, there was controversy about that with me because I won twice in a row for Best Female R&B Artist. and people have something to say about that. And I'm like, excuse me, I put in a lot of work, a lot of hard work to get those two awards.
Facts.
I wasn't just sitting around, you know what I
Facts.
mean? So it's always something, but you just have to, keep your head up and just know what you do and what you contributed to this music industry, and
And keep it
and leave it
moving.
at that. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And keep it
because
pushing.
yeah, you can't sit around and wait for people to give you accolades. Like, and it's funny too, people are very like you said, like, oh, wait till someone blows up or something like that. And I've noticed in a lot of people that, if I say, oh, I'm going to be on Fox 5 or I'm going to be on Apollo Live on BT, oh my God, that's my sister. Oh my God, girl, I ain't never seen you at a show. I've never, like, come on now. Stop it. Stop it. And then they're reposting that because it's something national or, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, seriously, I've never seen you at a show. And sometimes I do a lot of shows that are actually free. Like, I've never seen you at one. So it's crazy to me. And some of those people are, I see people laughing in the
Me
comments. Some of
too.
those people are people that you've known for years, years. But then there are people that you meet, within the year, and you see them at every show. So I don't understand the disconnect there. I don't understand that. Like, support your local artist people, support your people, because being in this music game, you already know it's no easy dealings, like,
No,
all the way around.
it's
Like, we
no.
put a lot into what we love.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, I see the list and I just brush them off. Really.
Just keep it
All right,
moving.
I see it.
Keep it
Keep it
moving.
moving.
Yeah, because people. I want to put a. I want people to. This is the hack for those who are listening right now. Artists, whether y'all know it or not,
Mm-hmm.
remembers who is in the audience. They remember who shows up, whether y'all
Yes.
don't think though or not. They could be on
Yes.
stage, they could be in the spiritual world of music and doing their thing, but they
Yes.
know who showed up.
Yes, we
It
do.
could it could be 20 people in that room. It could be
Mm-hmm.
100 people in that room. It
Yep.
could be 1,000 people in that room. When they see
Yes.
faces, they recognize who was there. They know who was
Yes.
there, and they know when they
Yes.
blow up and you come out the closet and say, "Oh,
Uh,
I've been knowing this for years," and you be like, "I don't even know you. I don't remember you coming to what's the last show you came to? Well, I came to the show at. I don't remember seeing you there. If you
yes.
came, then you would approach me and say, "Hey, girl, hey man, you did a great job," or whatever the case is, right? We
Right.
we
A
remember those
fact.
things. We
That's
remember
a
those things.
fact. And just to add on to that, like, many years ago, I learned my lesson with that, because I had a really big show at Blues Alley. And if you guys don't know, Blues Alley is a major, legendary spot in DC, for performing artists. And I was so excited. So many people said, "Oh, I'm coming." And there's two shows. I'm coming. And like half of those people didn't show up. I was so heartbroken and so disappointed. And I said, you know what? From now on, I don't care who tells me they're coming. If I see you, I see you. And if I don't, I don't. Like, I don't even put any care into it at all anymore. It's sad to say that, but you don't want to get your hopes up so high, and then you're just so disappointed with all these people that said they're coming.
Right.
No. So if people are like, "Oh, I'm coming," I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, okay.
And that's it. That's how I feel. I'm so serious. That's how I feel. Like, I'm just like that. And if I see you, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you came.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
I am.
Right.
But
Right.
I just take it as, it's just words. And so, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Sometimes
you just have to grow like that.
if I see people doing the show and I know I can't make it, I don't even comment. I don't even comment. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'm gonna be there because I know everyone's word is their bond. Your word should be your
Yeah,
bond. If you say you
yeah.
coming, you say you doing something, do it.
Mm-hmm.
Show
Right.
up because you never.
Yeah.
That artist is. You never know. They probably waiting. They probably waiting to see your
That's
face. Honestly,
true.
they're waiting to see
That
your
is true.
face. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
But we still push on. We
Yes.
still motivated, and we still do what we have to do as an artist because we never know who we are spiritually touching in the room with our
Yes.
singing, with our rapping.
Yes.
Answer this question for me,
Mm-hmm.
because it was just another thought as well.
Mm-hmm.
How, where you most received that the most? Where is your when you look at your statistics, when you look at your stats, when you look at
Mhm.
the behind the scenes things of Miss Gina Rose and who you are as an artist,
Mhm.
where's your bigger fan base? Is it more so in the South? Is it overseas? And if it
Mhm.
is, have you performed over there where you are where you're most adored, where you're most wanted, where you're most admired at? Have you had those experiences?
Um, I have not been blessed to go overseas to perform, but I did get to record with a artist in Germany. Actually, she was a female rapper, and she heard my music. By ways of the great old internet, and she reached out to me and was like, "Hey, I'd love to collab with you. I have this song, and I would love to have your voice on it." So it was crazy, to record over here, and then she's recording over in Germany, and we sent the vocals, and boom, the song was made. So I've been blessed to do that. But I would say my fan core is here because I am from here, and
Right.
I started here. I built everything here,
Right.
but and it just blows my mind, like getting emails or messages from people from different states and everywhere, like, and I see the sales. Yes, people, you got to check your sales for your EPs and your singles and stuff like that. And I see, purchases from China and all that. I'm like, oh, they rocking Gina Rose in China. Like, so it's like amazing to see that. So
Yeah.
I'm just blessed for like those little things. But I would love to be able to go overseas and perform. Like that would be just the top. That would be
Yeah.
epic. Yeah.
Absolutely, it will be, and I would be
Yeah.
very excited for you if that when that happens. You mentioned singing background for like LL Cool J, or
Yes.
you mentioned, you said, did you say Barry Manilow?
I said Barry Manilow.
I said, wait, she went from LL to Barry Manilow.
Yes.
How was it to work with Barry Manilow?
Oh my God. It was super interesting. Again, I was young, Hey, shout out to Empress Buda. She said Mandy, yes.
Peace.
Yeah, he was super cool actually. And again, for anyone listening, this is when I was younger, singing with the Union Temple Youth Choir. We got called to sing background for a lot of different artists and shows. And this was back, remember when we had the MCI Center
Yes.
in DC?
Yes.
Yeah, so he had a big show there, like one of the first shows or something like that. I can't recall, but we got to sing for him, and he was super cool, super down to earth, just real relaxed. He was like, just do what you guys do, and he loved what we did for him. So that was dope.
Barry
Yeah, so
Manilow.
I'm like having that diverse background, like going from an LL Cool J to a Barry Manilow, like I said, Reba McEntire, like. Who would have thought?
Who
Yes,
would
I got to
have?
sing background for Reba McEntire, like just totally different experiences. But I will say all of them were very positive, very cool, no crazy issues, or anything like
Hmm.
that. But you do get to learn. I got to learn a lot of stage etiquette and how, to just be around celebrities, because that is a part of this industry, knowing how to conduct yourself.
Right.
And being a young person, you're like, oh, no, you can't act like that.
You
If
can.
you want your picture or something, okay, you can get your picture, but you have to conduct yourself as an artist
Right.
because you're there to perform too. So,
Right.
you know, it just crazy experiences. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah. I can. I
Crazy.
can. I can only imagine. And it's a few more. It's probably like two questions else I want to ask before I let you go enjoy your Sunday. But when a big up to everybody in the chat room. Thank y'all so much
Yeah.
for being interactive.
Hi.
Hey everyone. Someone said that we're like elephants. No, we remember a lot as artists. We're like
Yeah.
elephants. We remember a lot as artists. Also
Yeah.
was saying that doggone Gina Rose is one bad girl! Exclamation point. Um,
Thank you so much.
Panoya Starcy podcast says you have a customer. Become a friend sooner than a friend and
Yay.
become a customer. So this is being a
Mhm.
customer and also having that support base. Um,
Yes.
the question I guess I want to ask you is
Hey,
what
mom. Sorry, Enoch. Hey, mommy. She
your
just
mom's in
walked in.
here.
My mom's in here.
Hey
Yeah.
mom, how you doing? How you doing?
Mom,
Um,
you're late, but okay.
It's okay, Mom. You showed up. You get a
Yeah, it's okay.
pass.
That's mom. That's mom Dukes.
At least you
Yeah.
showed up. You're good. Thank you, Mom, for showing up. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
There was actual was a question that I had that kind of like it's not there anymore, but it's all
Oh no.
good. I think that the question that I want to ask is this: um,
Hmm.
who would you, in a perfect world,
Okay.
and it may be this is a perfect world question. In a perfect world, who would you want to do a collaboration with, a duo with, whether you are singing with them or writing the song? I would say let's do
Ooh.
both. Who do you see in a perfect world that you would love to do a duet with?
Oh gosh, that's a crazy hard question. Okay, wait. Do these people have to be still living?
They don't have to be. They don't have to. They can be dead or alive.
Oh my god. Oh, oh gosh. Oh no. Now you kind of stumped me because there's so many. There's so many because it's like okay, I have my top, inspirations when it comes to music. So those people, yes, and then there's so many others that are still, thriving out
Right.
here. So, gosh, hmm, I would say as far as singing, with like I would have loved to have done something with Luther Vandross because like that's one of my top male like inspirations. His voice is just oh gosh, so buttery and just
Yes. Yes. That's
so
Luther.
it just pulls you in.
Right.
Um, so I would have loved to have done a duet with the Luther Vandross. As far as writing, oh my gosh, there's so many great writers. Oh gosh. Oh, that's a hard one. That's a hard one. I
Mm.
don't know. Um, I'm trying to just think off the dome. Um, oh gosh,
It's
why are you doing
okay.
this to me right
It's
now?
okay. It's
Uh,
okay. I mean, you said Luther because I think
yes,
everyone can agree in this chat room that Luther is the top notch. His voice,
top.
his appearance, his the way he carried himself as an artist,
Yes,
and for you to say that, I can see it, I can hear
yeah,
it. I
yeah.
can hear you doing a duet with Luther. Maybe,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna put this out here too. Is like maybe you could do something like that. Maybe you could do something like that and see how it sounds. Or there's so
Hmm.
many. We live in 2024, so there's so many ways that you can do
No,
something like that
that's
and
true.
make it happen. Just for promotional use only type of
That's
thing,
true.
and
That's
make that
true.
happen. Empress Judah says Marvin Gaye
Hey, oh, yeah. Oh, gosh. Marvin Gaye, that's a DC staple right there. I
all
mean,
time,
and he was absolutely
all
amazing. Yes,
time.
I could definitely see myself singing with him.
Yeah,
Definitely. And just as I was thinking, like some people that I would love to like have been able to write with, again, these are some of my tops, like Tina Marie, a phenomenal songwriter and one of my top inspirational singers, and Rick James, because I love Rick James. Like his songwriting for women, artists, the Mary Jane girls, Tina, like in his own,
yeah,
music. Oh my gosh, he
yes,
is a phenomenal songwriter and
absolutely,
musician all around. So,
absolutely.
I would have loved to have written with them too. Like that would have just been epic.
Yes,
Uh,
L Boogie, Miss L Boogie says Mesa, Lettucey. Um,
that's so
she,
crazy. I
she
actually
she
opened
also
for
said
Mesa before.
really, and she
Yeah.
also said Patti LaBelle.
Oh gosh, Patty is one of my top vocal inspirations too. I love Patty LaBelle. Oh my gosh, if I could sing on the stage with Patty and kick my shoes off too, girl, I would be okay, Miss El Boogie. I would be right up there alongside
Absolutely,
her. Like I would do it in a heartbeat.
absolutely, absolutely. And
Yes.
last last question, because it just came to me. Yeah, it just brought back to me because we were talking about inspiration and singing and your
Hmm.
life thus far and who you are. And this
Hmm.
is episode 89. You are episode 89. And when I
Yes.
saw that you were episode 89, I think
Hmm.
about the year of 89, right?
Hmm.
In that year of 89, what What stood out? What stood out to you in your life the most that you tend to hold on to this day that you continue to develop? Whether it's something that's historical that you found out, maybe about yourself when things are around you, maybe it was a time period in your life that made you stronger, so people can see the glow that we see now of Gina Rose. What is that one thing that stood out in your mind from '89,
Oh gosh.
if there is one?
Um, if there is one, just anytime, right? Just
Anytime,
something that
anytime.
honestly, I would have to say within the past 2 years, there's I don't, when things happen to me, like, let me say this real quick. I post a lot of things online. I do because I'm an artist, and that's what we have to do. We have to always, post just to, within to keep the engagement.
Hmm.
However, when I'm going through a lot of personal things and health issues and stuff like that, I don't post about that. But, a year or two ago, I had a really scary instance where I was in the hospital and my voice was gone. And the doctors told me, you might not be able to sing again.
Mm.
So that was just I was in a dark place and nobody knew, except for my mom, close
Yeah,
family
yeah,
knew.
definitely, definitely.
But I did not have a voice. I couldn't sing. Even when I was talking, like some friends would call me and I was stuttering. Like I couldn't, they told me I might have to go to speech therapy. It was just devastating for me. And I was in a dark place. Like I was scared to get on stage, after doing all of this for so
Wow.
many years. Like I was scared to get back on a stage. And it took a long time. I had to rebuild confidence again. Um, it was real scary. And even the first show that I did with a band, like I didn't have the confidence. And one of my friends was in the audience. He's a musician as well. He didn't know I was going to be singing at this particular show. He came up to me and said, he's like, "What's going on with you? Because this is not the Gina Rose that I know." Like,
Mm.
he knew, So I said, "Oh my God," but I had to get myself together. When I got my voice back, stay strong. And, I was praying to God, no, he's going to get me through this. I know this voice is not gone because it was given to me from the
Facts.
Most High. So I pushed through. Yes, like Empress Judith said, I pushed through and now I'm back, to where I was before. But that was a dark place. And that was just a few years ago. And nobody knew, so yeah, so that's been one of the biggest things that has happened that I'll never forget that. Not having my voice, I can't even imagine. Like, I can't even imagine that. But I was in that place and I didn't have it. So that was absolutely scary. So
Well, I'm
I'll
glad
say
you
that.
pushed through. I'm glad you pushed through.
Yes,
I'm glad you had the perseverance. I'm glad those who was around you encouraged you the most,
they
and was in your
did.
corner. Because if they didn't, we probably would be talking to Gina Rose, but it probably would be a different type of Gina Rose we'll be speaking to.
Yep.
And I just want to thank those close friends, your mom, your family,
Yes.
those who stuck beside you in those moments of disparity, those moments of
Yes.
challenging, because to lose a voice in which was given to you by the Most High and the
Mm.
Creator, and something you developed, and get it snatched
Yes.
away, you're like,
Yeah.
damn, okay, what am I gonna do now in life? Like, this is
Yes.
what I'm here to do, and I can't do it. But
Exactly.
you're here. That's the
Yes.
positive thing.
Yes.
You're here. You are expressing your beautiful gift and talent.
Yes.
And we would like to know when is the project coming out? When do you have a project coming out? Do you have a book coming out? Do you have a cookbook coming out? Do you have a teacher's manual that we can sing? You try to sing like Gina Rose? Like, what's going on with you? Let us know.
Well, I keep quiet about a lot of stuff. I did record a single. It's been sitting. I'm gonna be honest, it's been sitting for a while. But I'm working towards releasing another EP.
Hmm.
So just getting back into the creative space to create these other songs that need to go along with this other single. Well, the first single. So it's done, y'all. It's sitting. Okay, it's been waiting, and it's produced. I'll let you guys know it's produced by Rico Anderson. Shout out to Rico. If you're not familiar with him, guys, he's a very big, talented artist, DJ, producer. He produces um oh gosh, New Edition, their new album. He just produced like all the tracks on that. So he's heavy in this game. But he's been my friend for many, many years, and we've worked together for many years. So we're working together on this project. So that's in the works. Um, Also, behind the scenes, working on some other stuff, which I'm not going to say right now.
Nah,
I'm
don't
going to
do
keep,
that.
I'll keep it before,
Yeah, the
when it's
moment.
ready, it's ready.
Yes.
But yeah, but just besides that, I've been doing a lot of good stuff with even the songs that I had out. My original songs are in, like I said, some movies, and most recently, a show called Spooky Hours by MREC TV, and you guys
Okay.
can look at MREC, his page on Instagram, and also the app is available on like all the streaming apps. But if you look it up as Spooky Hours, you'll see some different episodes, and it's just like episodes of the supernatural and things like that.
Got
And
you.
so
Got you.
some of my songs are in some of the scenes. So yeah, so I'm really excited about
Yeah.
that. So you guys can check that out. But yeah, just trying to stay busy performing, and yes, new music, like I said, is coming. But I'm not rushing, to put out anything. Like,
Right. Take your
I want to
time.
make sure it's right.
Take your time.
So
You got to. You got to.
yeah,
You got to make
yeah,
sure it's right. You got to make sure it's
yeah.
right.
You already know.
I already
Yes.
know. I already know. So where can we see you perform next? You have any performances coming up?
I do. Actually, every Saturday for the rest of this month, I'm performing somewhere. This Saturday coming up, and I wrote it down because I'll go crazy. This Saturday is the 17th, right? I'll be in West Virginia for NAACP festival out there in Charlestown. So if you guys out there, come on out. Saturday 24th, anybody in Bowie, Maryland, I'll be at Bowie Town Center from 6 to 8, performing with Six in the System Band. That's free. Bring your lawn chairs. And September 31st, I'll be at the Charles County Fair Festival. I think the headliner is Regina Bell, so I'm performing with the After You band. So I'll be out there. So
You said
a
that's
lot
the
of stuff coming up.
31st?
Yep, the 31st. It's
Okay.
a Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got you. Got you.
yeah.
Okay.
So there's a lot of different things, and you guys stay hit with me on social media. I post everything on social media, of course. So you know.
Wow.
Yeah, you can
Wow.
you can find out what's
You
going
can
on with
find
me.
out. You can go find out what's going on with it. You have a
Yeah.
chance to see Gina Rose in the flesh in those particular days. If you're out here, if you're out there, if you're
Mm-hmm.
out Bowie Town Center, of course.
Yep.
And also too, you can come check her out with, singing with the band. You're gonna see
Yep.
Regina Bell. But just come out and to enjoy
Yeah.
life, to enjoy those artists you say you love, that you
Yeah.
support, things of that nature, because artists need that support, because
We do.
that's the fuel to keep us creating. When you don't see artists
That's right.
creating anymore,
Mm-hmm.
there's no one filling up that tank of creativity on that level.
Yes.
We talk
Fact.
about Andre 3000 not rapping
Mm-hmm.
anymore, and people upset that he's
Mm-hmm.
not rapping. He did choose to play the flute. Well, maybe
Yeah.
there's no one that is fueling that creative side of his hip hop,
Mm-hmm.
but there's someone fueling that side of him doing something different. You
Absolutely.
know,
Absolutely.
and
Yes.
we have to embrace, whether you like it or don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a creative process,
Right.
and it's hard being a
Oh,
creative. It's hard being an artist.
it is.
It's not easy.
It is not.
It is
It is
not
not.
easy at all.
No. No.
Before we go, I would
Yeah.
love for you to give us, this is Salvation Sunday. This is a time that we kind of reflect. This is the first day of the week, leading
Yeah.
us into the rest of the week.
Yes.
But what are some encouraging words that you would leave to anyone who's listening, whether they're an artist or whether they are a mom, just like you, we didn't have a chance to talk about that being in the mom experience. But you know what?
Uh-huh.
Let's do that. Let's direct that question towards the moms. How can you, what would you do? What would you say to encourage those single moms or
Mm-hmm.
those moms who are or fighting against, or not fighting, it's a challenge to be an artist and then be a
Mm.
mom at the same
Oh
time.
my goodness.
What would your encouraging words be for those moms?
Oh wow. I love that. Um, I would just say, just, don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your God given talents. Um, don't, because you have it, it's there for a reason. And your child or your children, they are going to be your motivators to push you, because you're not just doing it for you at this point. Like, you're doing it for them. So you have to keep going, and you have to show them and be that example that, hey, if you want to try this, go try it. And if it doesn't work out, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You can still keep going, or you have time to figure out what it is that you want to do in life. So I would definitely say that just don't give up on it, whatever it is that you love to do. Keep going and striving towards that. And I guarantee you, your children will be proud of you, or your child will be proud of you. And they might not understand it when they're young, but as they grow older, I'm sure they'll understand it, because I had to go through that with my son, dragging him to the studio, dragging him to rehearsals. He's a little kid, and now, and so he understands, he appreciates it now.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure at the time he's like, oh my God, but just keep going, and just don't give up. And find those supportive people that will have your back and that will be there to support you with your gift and your dream.
There you go. There
Yeah.
it is. There it
Yeah.
is right there. You know, Gina, we have a lot of history.
We
There's a lot of
do.
history here.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, did you do a song with Black Indian?
Black
Did
Indian.
you ever do a song with Black Indian?
Oh gosh, I don't think so.
Okay,
Oh
because
gosh,
you know,
I've done so many collabs. Like, I don't even remember
did
all
you
of them.
did you ever film a video with Black Indian?
A video? No.
I'm trying.
Um.
Because I know, me, of course, rest in peace to Black Indian. We've always had conversation, and your name
Mhm.
would come up in the conversation. I don't know if he wanted to
Mhm.
work with you. I don't know if he did a song with you or not. But when we talk
Mhm.
on the phone, he would bring your name in conversation.
Oh.
So I don't know if he wanted to do a record with you or not,
Oh no.
but I can't remember. And that's the
Yeah.
thing that kind of fogs my
Yeah.
memory, that I can't remember. But I would look back into
I don't
some of our
think so.
emails, and
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but
Rest in peace.
rest in
Mm.
peace to Black Indian. Thank you so much. But
Yeah.
thank you, Miss Gina Rose. I really appreciate you.
Oh,
I thank you
thank
so much
you.
for doing what you've been doing. And I definitely want to do a record with you too. I just gotta find the right record, and then
Oh yeah.
contact you to and then we can talk about logistics and things of that nature. But
Yeah.
thank you so much for taking this
Yeah.
time out of your busy Sunday.
No,
I really appreciate you.
you are welcome, and I gotta thank you for having me on. Like, I appreciate you bringing me onto your awesome platform. And again, like, just knowing you throughout the years, you've always been the same person, always the same. Like, always the same person now, just the same everything. Like, you've never changed, and I just love that about you. And I appreciate your art as well, because you are a phenomenal rapper. Like, you guys don't know,
Thank
I
you.
get busy. Okay, so I appreciate your art. And I know you're not just that, but tapping into everything else that you do, photography, like the graphics, like, oh my gosh,
Thank you.
just amazing. So I
Thank you.
appreciate what you do too.
Thank you.
You already know.
Thank you so
You
much.
already know.
And now we want to put our phenomenal creative idea together on one record and see
Yeah.
and make it happen. So that is in the future. And
Yeah.
once I get that in play, I would definitely reach out to you to see what your thoughts are on
Um,
how the logistics of how we can make all of this happen. Because I
open.
don't want nothing for free, because I know how that goes. You know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
from artist to artist, and I'm
Yeah.
definitely want to make sure that you are compensated in the sense of what I need to get done. You know what I'm saying? What I
Mm-hmm.
need to have done. So we'll talk about that offline. We don't want to give people too much information here.
Yeah.
But
The
but
business.
yeah. Y'all nosy. But thank you so much, Miss Gina Rose. Have a beautiful Sunday. It's nice today. It's not hot as hell outside,
I
and
know.
The devil's not out here doing the barbecue and the cookout with his family today.
Oh, oh my God. Yes, you enjoy the rest of this day too, and have a great, great week. And again, shout out to all the people that were tuned in.
Yes,
Like, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate that too, and all the comments and everything. Like, I truly do.
absolutely. We
Yes.
truly should. Thank you so much, Gina. You have a beautiful
You're
Sunday. We'll talk soon.
welcome. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Peace.
Peace.
Mental, Mental Salvation Radio, Salvation Sundays, episode 89. Talking to Miss Gina Rose, man. If y'all don't know, now you know. Follow her on Instagram right now. Follow her on Instagram right there. It's like at Miss Gina Rose. I have to go now because my daughter has been calling my name, my name, my name. She's ready to get down off the high chair. She's ready to go do whatever she going about to do. So, Mental Salvation Radio, Salvation Sundays. As I always say here, the sun will always still shines no matter how gloomy and cloudy it appears to be. The sun will always still shines. And I got my big ass happy birthday hat. See? Peace.